Hello, 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 my brothers and sisters out there. How you doing this evening? We got a good hot topic this evening. Come on in, come on in, come on in. How you doing, Sister Barbara Dudley? How you doing? How you doing? Come on in, brothers and sisters, so we can get really into this topic tonight, because this topic was brought to my attention, and now I am going to talk about it tonight. And I know that you all going to love it. Some of you all will be able to relate to what I'm talking about, because some of you are currently in this situation, or some of you current or will be in this situation tomorrow. Okay, so stay tuned. We got a good topic tonight. If you want to make some comments during this broadcast, by all means, my brother and sister, make your comments, but be very, very respectable to the audience. And another thing, my brother and sister, your brother Tony is a little under the weather, so I hope that you all will be able to bear with me. I'm going to get through it. I got a little cold. I might be a little stuffy. I might have to blow my nose every now and then, but forgive me, forgive me, forgive me. How you doing, Sister Flo Harvey Martin? How you doing, Mother? I see you, Joan Hancock. How you doing, Sister Keisha? You all coming in? Come on in. If you're sitting in the back, come close to the front. Don't sit back there in the back, come close to the front. And if you have to go to the bathroom or something, just get up and be quiet and don't disturb the audience. Thank you, Sister Keisha. I'm going to get through this show, my brothers and sisters. I hope that you all had a good Valentine's Day. We're going to talk about that a little shortly. We're going to give a few more people just a few seconds to get in, because we got something to talk about, okay? We really, really got something to talk about tonight. And if you want to share anything, my brother and sister, by all means share. We're about to get in now. It's on and popping. All right. If this is your first time looking at this broadcast, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Tony M. How you doing, Sister Nancy? My name is Tony M. Toomer, and I talk about relationships. I talk about relationships pertaining basically to that of a man and a woman that should be serious. How you doing, Sister Tina? That should be committed and move towards the covenant phase of a relationship, okay? That's where I come from. How you doing, my little sister Renee? Thank you all for saying hey. But remember now, your little brother Tony, he got a little cold, but I'm going to get through it for you, my brother, and you, my sisters, okay? If you are here for the first time, you're going to have we got a good show tonight, so you may learn something, my brothers and sisters. You will learn something tonight, I guarantee you. If you think about a relationship other than the relationship that I talk about, because I basically talk about the relationship between that of a man and a woman from a biblical standpoint. When I say a biblical standpoint, I talk about from Genesis. God had a unique relationship with the man Adam first. Secondly, he had a unique relationship with the woman Eve. Thirdly, God represented the woman to the man. The man, Adam, said in the presence of God in regards to Eve, Adam said, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, I should call a woman, because she came from man. That's the type of relationship that I strictly stand to, my brother and sister. Now, if you believe in another type of relationship, you have what is called a free will. You could do whatever you choose to do, but if you're looking at this broadcast, it's strictly from God's perspective. This is not Tony's perspective. I just work at station God, and I'm here to bring the news. And with that said, we're about to get into tonight's content. Tonight's content is, after a breakup, can a man and a woman just be friends after being truly in love? After a breakup, can a man and a woman just be friends after being truly in love? Speaking of truly in love, I hope that some of you brothers and sisters had a good Valentine's Day with your honey pot and all that kind of stuff. I hope that you all really did, because brother, if you missed that date and you claim to be so in love with this woman and you let the 15th slip in on you, you, brother, got something to deal with. Hopefully you brothers, you did what you were supposed to do. Even if the woman said, You don't have to do nothing for me. You should have read between the lines, because even if you're doing a lot of just because days, brother, when it comes close to a day like Valentine's Day, you have to watch that stuff what women say and read between the lines. And I hope that you did something, brother, if you claim that you are serious, committed, and moving towards a covenant relationship, or you're in a covenant relationship. Let's get on to this show. After a breakup, can a man and woman just be friends after being truly in love? Now, how do you know that you are truly in love with someone without a shadow of a doubt? How do you know? You can know, my brother, and you can know, my sister. Here is the test. This is the bona fide test, and we're going to look at it from God's word first. If you are truly in love with a man or woman or anyone in general, especially, but you know, I talk about relationship between a man and a woman, and you can look at it from John 15:13. Again, that's John 15:13, John 15:13. Jesus is doing the talking. Jesus said, there is no greater love than to lay down one's life for one's friend. Okay? Jesus said this out of Jesus' own mouth. He said, there is no greater love. When he talk about that song, that Whitney Houston song, we talk about what Jesus spoke. Jesus said, there is no greater love than to lay down one's life for one's friend. So when it comes to a relationship between a man and a woman, a man should love a woman just like Christ loved the church, and the woman should respect the man as if he was Christ himself, even though he's not. We talk about an imperfect man and an imperfect woman. So, brother, if you really love a woman, you have to love a woman to the point where you will lay down your life for her. If she's your friend, how you doing, Sister Brenda K? If she's your friend, you said this woman is your friend, you got to love this woman to death. Just like Jesus died for the world, the church, you got to willing to put your life on the line, brother. If you are not willing to lay down your life and take that bullet for that woman, how you doing, Sister Mary? You do not love her, brother. You don't look for her to die for you. You the man, you supposed to be the leader, and you supposed to be the head of the relationship. You, brother, have to be willing to lay down your life for that woman. Now, truly in love is about this, my brothers and sisters. By choosing to love someone with your whole heart, it takes to be, you have to be mature, and you have to sacrifice. When it's truly love, you have to be very mature, and you have to sacrifice, knowing you would do anything for that man or that woman. That's love. Love is loving someone, a man or a woman, my brother and sister. It's not all about enjoying time with one another. That's what a lot of people say. If you just spend all your time with me, that love. No, love is, time is important, but it got some more components to it. Although it is a part of love, spending quality time with someone. Loving someone, my brother and sister, is not about any superficial thing one may think. Love is not, listen to me carefully, love is not all about feelings. When it comes to love, my brother and sister, love is a choice. You choose to love a woman, brother. Sister, you choose to love a man. Now, feelings are involved, but we know that feelings fluctuate. Feelings go up and down like the weather. So you have to choose to love a man or woman. You have to love a man or a woman in an unconditional way. What does unconditional mean? You look at that man and you look at that woman as that man or woman is imperfect. He or she will never be perfect in this lifetime, just like you will never be perfect in this lifetime, okay? How you doing, sister? You will never be perfect, my brother and sister. There are some of you that are afraid to be in a relationship because you're thinking about you're going to be hurt and all that kind of stuff. When you're in a relationship with someone, my brother and sister, there is a possibility that you might get hurt. There is a possibility that you're going to have disagreement. There is a possibility that you're going to shed some tears. There is no relationship, my brother and sister, that you're going to smile every day. So don't think you're going to smile every day. Some of you brothers and some of you sisters, you got unrealistic expectation when it comes to love. Now, you brothers, some of you brothers and some of you sisters need to be very, very careful to whom you talk to when it comes to relationship. Don't listen to every man and every woman that talks about relationship. There are so many YouTube things. There are so many books and everything. Let me tell you something, my brothers and sisters. You need to listen to someone that has failed in a relationship. That's who you need to listen to. You need to listen to a man or a woman that have failed at least one time in a relationship or several times. You know why you need to listen to someone that have failed in a relationship? That man and that woman have what is called experience and can help you to avoid the pitfalls of being about me, myself, and I. By the way, I'm talking about myself as a matter of fact. I, myself, my brother and sister, I used to be a person about me, myself, and I. I know some of you all don't believe it, but your brother Tony, he used to be very, very selfish. Okay, I used to be very selfish. And I have failed in relationships. I have failed, but I'm not a failure, but I have failed. That's just like if you go to school and you flunk a test. That don't mean you're a failure. You just failed that test and you have to study more. You have to learn what you got wrong and you have to correct it the next time. As you know, my brother and sister, 1 + 1 = 2. It never equals 3. If you're in a math class and you put 3, your teacher gonna say wrong. You got to get in your mind. You got to move that 3 and let 2 make sense to you. 1 + 1 = 2. That's experience. If I'm in a math class and I said 1 + 1 = 3, the teacher gonna say it's wrong, so I flunked the test. That don't mean that I'm a failure. So I have to learn from the teacher. The teacher knows better, okay? Like Jesus know better. Jesus was no failure, but Jesus know about relationship. Jesus know the pitfalls in a relationship. If you do not have a relationship with Jesus, my brother and sister, you're going to fail anyway. That's what I had to learn. And I'm still learning today at 60 years old. Loving someone, it cannot be about being superficial. How you doing, Sister Cheryl E. Smith? And you need to listen to someone that even though that man or woman is following God through his son Jesus Christ, that man or woman now is in a relationship that can teach you some things about being successful. So, my brother and sister, when you listen to someone when it comes to a relationship, listen to someone that have failed. Don't ever listen to someone that make a relationship seem like it's all a bed of roses. You need to talk to someone that have touched the stove, thought that it was cold, but it was hot, and that person got burnt. A lot of you brothers and sisters, you listening to people that are not in a relationship. They're not in a relationship. Now, some would say, what's wrong with not being in a relationship? How can you listen to someone that doesn't understand what being a failure in a relationship? Stop listening to people that make it seem like a relationship is perfect. Stop doing that. A lot of you brothers, you listen to people that aren't even in a relationship. A lot of the people that you listen to, they are toxic in themselves. They don't have no receipts. So listen to someone that have failed, not someone that's successful. If you notice this, my brother and sister, when it comes to success, a man or a woman that is successful, they have had some failures. They learned from their failure, they failed down, and they got up. That's who you listen to. And when it comes to relationship, you're going to trip up, you're going to fall, but you got to get up. Okay, that's what you're going to have to do. Now, after a breakup, Can a man and woman just be friends after truly being in love? That's a hard part, but I'm going to answer that shortly. I know a lot of you want to know the answer to that question. After a breakup, can a man and a woman just be friends? Well, truly in love, can it be friends? Now, here are some points that I'm going to make. When a man and a woman have broken up in a relationship, and that man and woman have been, past tense, have been truly in love with a man and a woman, if they were truly in love with that man or woman, that man and a woman, they more than likely, they still love that man and a woman. Okay? And number one, a man and a woman that truly love one another and they have broken up, they cannot never act like the relationship never exists. There are some people, you got to understand this. I'm talking to some of you brothers and sisters right now. Some of you trying to pretend that you truly not in love with a person that you used to be with. Even though you broke up, you got to acknowledge it to yourself that you was truly in love with someone. That doesn't mean that you are a fool. It doesn't mean that. And that's why it's very, very important, my brothers and sisters, some of the things that I'm about to talk about, that you from the beginning get into a healthy relationship with a man or woman that is imperfect. You got to look at that man and woman as he or she is imperfect. Okay? Now, a lot of you brothers and sisters, some of you are still infatuated with a person. There's a difference between being infatuated and truly in love with a man and a woman. Infatuation, that normally happens at the onset of a relationship, and it's normally start fizzling out. Then a man and a woman, they normally start getting relaxed, because everyone that you meet early in a relationship, my brother and sister, you don't meet the real person. You never meet the real person on day one. It takes time to understand the person. Because on day one, that man and woman are going to show you what he or she think you want to see. Everybody wear masks. You're not going to know the person on the first time. So when a person starts getting very comfortable with you, he or she going to start relaxing, and then you're going to see the real deal. And if you have broken up with someone and you truly love that man or woman, you can you will never be the same. Number two, even if you thought that that person was just another lover, but he or she isn't, and it's not simple for your heart because you're still in love. Let me tell you something, my brother and sister. This is one thing about being soul tied. You can sleep with different people, okay? You can sleep with different people. When you sleep with, yeah, that's right, share real deal, Holyfield. If you sleep with different people, there's one person, not everybody, there's one person that you're going to get more bonded to. It's going to go deeper than just sex. You're going to be soul tied to someone. That's why it's very important, my brother and sister, that you don't sleep around. Because if you sleep around, you might get bonded to the wrong person, and you may get truly in love with that person. And you're going to have a hangover for days, weeks, months, and years. Number three, you can verbally say that it's over, but someone or both will still be in love. If a man and woman is truly in love with someone, you could verbally tell a man and woman, if, let's say for instance, that you go to someone and you say, I think the relationship have ran its course and it's over. One of you, if you have invested some time into it, one of you got feelings. In a relationship, it's going to always be one that's going to catch feelings. No, it'll either be the man or the woman. Most of the time it be the woman. But someone going to catch some feelings. And you see, when it comes to a relationship, the relationship overall, my brother and sister, all the time it don't be bad. You may have some bad things that go down in a relationship. Now, there are some relationships that are very toxic. But a lot of relationships, the man and woman, they just had unrealistic expectations. and they were looking for a person to make his or herself happy, which that's a fatal mistake, my brother and sister. When you get in a relationship, you never look for a person to make you happy. That's why a lot of relationships fail, because you put a whole bunch of burden on someone else, and no man or woman can make you happy. You got happy is an inside job. You don't depend on no man or woman to make you happy. For example, I'm married. A lot of you all know that I'm married. I do not depend on my wife to make me happy, because sometimes my wife and I have disagreements and feelings fluctuate. You understand? I can't depend on her to do it. I look at my wife, she have flaws. I have flaws. So since I understand it and she understands it, this is where maturity come in at. You're not going to smile every day. Now, when it comes to when someone break up and you truly in love with that person, you just in love with that person. You don't truly be in love with everyone you meet, my brother. So you got to understand that you do not truly love everyone that you meet. It's going to always be that one person that stands out. There are some people that are married now. They were married, but their spouse is deceased. That man and woman probably got in a relationship with someone else. But that man and woman that he or she's in a relationship, that doesn't mean if he or she was in love with his or her spouse, they understand that love in them. And it's a silent, true love. They love their spouse that they used to be with. Even though they're going with someone else, they deal with the reality that that person is not coming back on this side of the world. So let me tell you this, my brother and sister. If you are a widow and you decide to get in a relationship with someone else, you got to, don't get in a relationship doing no comparison and contrast. That's why some of you brothers and sisters, you fail, because your mate is deceased. And no man or no woman, if you truly love your deceased partner, can fulfill that person's shoes, will fill that person's shoes. There are no two people alike. So my brother and sister, if you are a widow and you decide to get into another relationship, do not do no comparison and contrast with your deceased spouse, because the person that you will never be that person. So don't ever say, well, when John used to be here, he used to do this and not do that. Or when Jennifer was here, she used to do this or do that. Don't ever do it. So those of you, when it comes to a relationship and you're parting ways, normally there's going to be someone that's going to always be in love with someone. Now, here's another point. It's easier to pick up where you left off if you truly love someone, even if it had been years. There are some people that are currently in a relationship, or they may be single. And when they by chance, I'm not going to say by luck, but by chance, that man and woman throughout the years have been thinking about that person that he or she truly loves. He or she may know some things about what that man and woman is doing right now. How you doing, Sister Twilight? And then they might not. So through chance, that man and woman meet. Through chance, even though years been gone by. And one thing about it, if a man and woman is truly in love with someone, that person that he or she haven't seen in years or whatever, and those feelings are still there, even though that man and woman have matured and been through life changing with someone else or solo, that man or woman still could pick up where he or she left off years ago. They're not going to relive years ago, but that's part of when a man and woman, they break up, they could still pick up. If one is willing and the other decide, okay, I'm going to invest back into the relationship. Because there's some relationship where a man and woman, they separate from years. They separate. The man doing something with that woman, these women, this woman doing things with this man or men. And when years go by, because I know of some people that years go by and they end up back together again. And some of you know some people like that. Years gone by and those people had different lives, then they finally got back together. These are some people that let you know that there was true love when they got back together. After all those years, it happens, my brother and sister. Another point, if you're in the same place alone, this is the danger zone. My brother and sister, if you are truly in love with someone, time have been by, and why do I call this the danger zone? If you are the one that was truly in love with the other person, you are the one that's most vulnerable to that other person when you see him or her. Even if you have another life going on, you're vulnerable to that person that you truly love. So I'm telling you, my brother and sister, especially if you're married, if you are married and you love your spouse, yes, you love your spouse, but that man and woman that you truly love, do not get in a situation that you all are alone, because that's the danger zone, and more than likely 9 times out of 10 you're going to cross lines because you are familiar with that man or woman. You can't be friends like that. You can't get solo with someone that you truly love and you already in a serious, committed, and covenant relationship with someone else. The only thing you got is memories. Don't try to relive those memories and make more memories. It's just you got yourself in a situation that you with someone else. So don't hurt that man or don't hurt that woman trying to relive something that you with a person that you truly love. Another point, someone will always have feeling. It never fails. It never fails. I talk to men, I talk to women, years go by, and the feelings are still there. It never goes nowhere. That man and woman, a lot of time a man and a woman, when they have broken up with someone that they truly love, they go through the motion with other people. You understand that? They go through, let me tell you something, my brother and sister. There is a possibility if you are in a relationship with someone, hopefully this doesn't apply to you. There's a possibility, it could even be you, that you always have feeling for this person no matter what happened. No matter what happened, because that's the person that you truly love. Your mind, my brother and sister, is going to always go back down memory lane. If you by chance see that person or talk to that person, your mind going to always go back down memory lane. Your mind will never be erased when you have invested time, sacrifice, and all that stuff with someone. You, my brother, and you, my sister, you're going to go back down memory lane, and your name don't have to be, what that lady name that used to sing back down memory lane? Minnie Riperton. Listen to that song called Back Down Memory Lane. She when that song with Minnie Riperton was singing that, by the way, she deceased, a lot of you all know that. Minnie Riperton recorded, that was her last song that she recorded. She was talking about when she looked at a photograph. This is part of the lyrics. She said, she looked at a photograph and it almost made me laugh, and it took her down memory lane. That's how some of you brothers and sisters do right now. Some of you brothers and sisters, you look at Facebook at that man and woman that you used to be in a relationship with, you keeping up with them. You keeping up with them through their family, their friends, and all kinds of stuff, especially on social media, because you keep playing that Minnie Riperton song, right? Back down memory lane. You, my brother, and you, my sister, you got to understand this. When you are truly in love with someone, what you're going to be doing on a subconscious level, you are going to try to replace that person with someone else. That's a fatal mistake, my brother and sister. You can never replace no one with someone else. But that was a lot of you brothers and sisters have done and probably will do subconsciously. When you get another relationship with someone, you going to try to replace that person that have gone on with his or her life by choice or by death. You can never replace someone that you truly love, my brother and sister. That's just a fact. If you truly love someone, you will never find no one to replace them. That's why if you break up with someone, my brother and sister, you got to be healed. Oh, yeah, that was a nice song, Sister Flo. You got to be healed before you get into a relationship with someone. Let me tell you this, my brother and sister, if you truly love the man or woman and the relationship is over, the best thing you could do is admit to yourself, I truly love that man or woman. That's what you have to do. I truly love that man or woman, and get on with your life. Because there's a possibility that that man or woman is not going to come back into your life. There's a lot of brothers and sisters that listen to me right now. You stuck. You stuck like Chuck. You hoping that that person come back, but there's a possibility that that person don't come back. Bottom line, my brother and sister, you really, I ain't gonna even answer that right now. Or should I answer it? I answer it. My brother and sister, when it comes to a relationship, no, I'm not going to answer it right now. This is a thought, my brother and sister. There is a man that listening to me right now. There is a woman that listening to me right now, tonight, live, that is currently in a relationship. But that man or woman is still truly in love with someone else. Is that you, brother? Is that you, sister? You are in a relationship with someone else. But your heart is tied with another man or woman. If you, my brother, or you, my sister, are in a relationship with someone, and your heart is tied to another man or a woman on the other side of town, you in a situation. Sister Flo said, move on. You have to move on, my brother and sister. Yes, you have to move on. You got to realize that that was a love that used to be. Because you see, you don't want to hurt the person that you are in a serious, committed, and covenant relationship with. You don't want to do that. You see, you taking a chance, my brother and sister, if you have crossed those 3 hurdles. You got serious with a man or woman. You committed to that man or woman. You verbally exchanged that we're committed. Then you got married. Then you meet that. Then you see that person that out there that you truly love. You gambling. By you think you're going to drop that relationship and run over there to that other person. That's a gamble. It's a sticky gamble. Now, if you single, that's another thing. If you single, my brother and sister, and you're not in the three hurdle, if you're not in a serious, committed, and covenant relationship, you are what is called a free agent. What is a free agent? You are not committed to no one. And I need to tell you, my brother and sister, some of you don't want to hear this, but I got to tell you this. If you're not married to a man, sister, or brother, if you're not married to a woman, if you going together, if you live together, you're not married. You're not married. You got to understand that, my brother and sister. You're not married. A lot of you brothers and sisters, you playing relationship. You've been playing with another man or woman for years. If you, let's say the United States of America, there are some states that recognize whether you're married or not, right? Majority of the states in the United States, you have to have that license stuff. Now, there are some states in the United States that will say that you're married if you live with a person for X amount of time, okay? There are some states. But before God, my brother, before God, my sister, God don't look at you as being married unless you did it his way. Now, there are some men and women that say, well, I'm gonna do according to the law of the land. The law of the land say I'm married. But are you married before God? You see, the laws of the land, it can conflict with God's law of being married. You see, God look at marriage other than how the world or the United States look at marriage. When you get married, my brother and sister, you got to see, are you doing it God's way? You can play house all you want to. People could say that your girlfriend or boyfriend, all that kind of stuff. But what did God say? What does God say? So, my brother and sister, if you are single, you are a free agent. You are a free agent. You're not bound to no man, sister. You're not bound to no woman, brother, if you're not married to her. Even if y'all been together for years. And I'm not here to try to break no one up. I'm just telling the truth. And the thing about truth is different from sugar and salt. You all know that I come here with the salt. I don't come here to put no sugar in your tea. I always tell you all that. I do not come here to put no sugar in your tea. If you want me to come here to put sugar in your tea, I can do that every night. I'm not about that. I'm not here for you to like me to tell you lies. I could do that. I can make you feel good. I could do like Zap. I could do like Roger Troutman. I could play some music and make you bounce and make you feel good. I could do that, but I'm not here. I'm here to put salt on your steak. That's what I'm here for. The salt part is this. And you all know what salt does. Salt does three things. Salt preserves, salt gives flavor, and salt irritate. Preserve. If you have a piece of meat and your refrigerator break down, all you have to do is put some salt on that boy, on that meat, and it could preserve it for a while. That's what salt can do. Salt also gives flavor. If you got some good collard greens out there, you don't put sugar on collard greens unless you're weird. You might put a little salt on there, or salt somewhere. That give it flavor. Sugar give it flavor, but it give it the wrong type of flavor. And then the other thing about salt, it irritates. If you just get a speck of salt, if I get a speck of salt and do this in your eye, it's gonna burn your eye. If you got a cut on your wrist or something, and I get a little dash of salt and put it there, it's gonna burn. It's gonna burn. If I put salt there, it'll irritate. I mean, if I put sugar there, it'll irritate, but it won't burn as much as salt. You see, I come here to give you salt. So every time you come here, I'm about giving you salt. Now the answer to the question, the bottom line, can you really be friends with someone that you truly love? No. You cannot just be friends with someone that you truly love. You know why? Because you have history. And if the opportunity comes, you will go that way. The key thing is, I said, truly love. Truly love. What is truly love? What did I tell you all? I told you truly love it like this, and I gave it to you from Jesus' perspective, right? It say that Jesus said in John 15:13. This is what Jesus said, and this is a test, whether you love someone or not. There is no greater love. Jesus said no greater love than to lay down one's life for one's friend. If you can see yourself giving up your life for another person, that's true love. You understand? If you can't see yourself giving up your life for someone else, you just going through the motion. You saying you love someone. That's all you're doing. But real love, you will give up your life to death. You will bite the bullet, especially you brothers. Sister, you need to know yourself when it comes to a man. Do you really love him? And you need to ask him, if will you give up your life for me, if necessary, and see, will he do it? Do you have one of those men, sister, like, he might play like he brave, and then you upstairs with him at night and you hear something downstairs. Do you have the type of man that would say, you need to go down there and check it out? Or you wake him up, because most of the time women sleep lighter than men. You hear somebody downstairs, and you know it's nobody don't supposed to be in your house, right? You hear some noise. Sister, do you have the type of man that when you wake him up and say, John, someone downstairs, I hear some noise, somebody downstairs. Will John tell you to come down here with me? Or will John say, you stay here? Sister, do you have the type of man that if a burglar coming there, a few burglar coming there, and they tie you up together, they tie you up, brother, and you up, sister, and that man say, I got one bullet and one of you got to go. What would your man say? Would your man say, look at you and say, baby, you 1 year older than me, and you need to take that bullet? Or do you have the type of man that will take the bullet for you? So that's my question, sister. Do you have a man that will take the bullet for you? Do you? You can never. And then again about love, what I told you, true love is about, and I'm wrapping it up, by choosing to love someone with your whole heart. Are you willing to sacrifice, and are you mature? First of all, are you mature? If you mature, you know love comes with sacrifice. What that means, you have to eliminate me, myself, and I, and your thought process is supposed to be we, us, and our. That's sacrifice. You put your mate before you when you make decisions. Knowing you would do anything for your mate, that's love, that you would do anything long as it's right before God now, okay? Loving someone, my brother, loving someone, my sister, is not all about enjoying spending time, although that's a part of it. Loving someone is not all about superficial things one may think. Love is not about feelings all the time. When it comes down to it, my brother and sister, love is about choice. You decide or you do not decide whether you're going to love someone. When you love a man and when you love a woman, you have to invest 100% into that relationship. If you're not willing to invest 100 into that relationship, you don't have a relationship. And that's after your relationship with God through his son, Jesus the Christ. You understand? After God, then, my brother and my sister, you put your focus on your mate. Not children, not your job, not your friends, not your hobbies and stuff. Your priority, my brother and sister, is, especially you serious in a committed relationship and you are covenant relationship, your second thought after God is your mate. Every morning when you get up, good morning to God first. Before you say good morning to children, good morning to your mate, then your children. If you all understand the principle and the priority, you can have a good relationship. Your relationship can be successful. But remember, when you truly love someone, you're going to always truly love only one person, my brother and sister. You can love other people, but you're going to always truly love only one in your lifetime. After God, you could be in several relationships, but truly love only one. Always remember that. So if you're not in no serious, committed, and covenant relationship with someone, and you truly love them, and you single, the door is open. But if you married, you can't do it. The only thing you got, my brother and sister, you got memories. There are some of you brothers and sisters right now, you are in a relationship, you're married or whatever, you're married, and you truly love another man or woman from your past. If you are in this situation, you have to pray. And you know, some of you brothers and sisters, you know who I'm talking about. You're in a relationship, but you truly love somebody else. You got to deal with it. I love you, brother and sister. I hope that you all got a little something out of it. I hope that you have a good night. Peace out. Before I go, let me tell you all something before I go. Let me tell you something. I got a good show tomorrow, and I hope that you all tune in. I got a good one for you. So come in tomorrow. I'll be on between 7 o'clock and 7:15. So go ahead and make sure you done got your popcorn and soda and all that kind of stuff. And I will be popping in between 7 and 7:15 tomorrow, okay? Peace out.